Hello traders, tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you on Thursday, March the 27th. The year's 2025. Let's talk trading. Charting with Walmal. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. And a friendly reminder about risk management. Always have your risk management in place. Never lose more than you're willing to lose on a single trade, or as Walmart would say, in a single day. So Walmart, before we made the video, actually we were looking at the pound after the news, and you saw a long opportunity and I saw a short opportunity. So when I said, hey, you know what? This might be a good thing to do because you thought, or I thought it was making a flat bottom and you thought it was making a flat top. Um, and so you went long and I was going to go short. And, it proved that we could each have made money. So I've got
Yep.
that chart you sent up, your trading chart here. So, and you drew the line, so I'll let you take it from here and you can explain what you saw, and then I'll explain what I saw.
Sure. So looking at the chart, first of all, that big candle about in the middle of that chart, huge wick on it, that was the news drop. Then after the news drop, it kind of price kind of waffled. Well, first of all, it went collapsed all the way back down to the 50 line. Then it kind of went back up, back down, and it kind of waffled there for a little bit. But one of the things that I noticed was that after that third black candle after the news drop, if you drew a line from there to the third black candle after it, there was a nice straight line. The problem was it was trending up. That told me that price, for whatever reason, wanted to go up. And to boot, what happened was is that if you look across the top, okay, you weren't getting higher highs all the time, but you also weren't getting lower lows. What you were getting is it was again oscillating across both. It was oscillating across that 50 line, back and forth, back and forth. And that tells me, okay, we're setting up here. I call that a flat top because the thing is, yeah, it wasn't a straight line with nothing but everything at the exact same mark, which is pretty, and it happens a lot of times. But it didn't do that. What it would do is it'd pop across it, couldn't sustain it, and pop back down. Pop across it, couldn't sustain it, pop back down, and it just had a problem there. And it did that for what? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven candles in a row. It did that, and it's like, man, that thing really is trying here. And with with the lows on the bottom coming up towards it, that tells me the market's compressing. It's compressing the spring. And what's going to happen is eventually all that kinetic energy that's stored, not kinetic, potential energy that's stored up in that compressed spring, it's going to go and pop. And I'm looking and saying, okay, a lid's been put on the top. More than likely, it's going to go and jump up. And lo and behold, it finally broke that 50. And when it broke that 50, it ran all the way to like 55, a little bit more than 55. And had a nice little run there. I picked up 5 tips on it. It was just a nice little pickup. Then, won't you? I'll let you explain why you saw a short coming in there,
Yeah, yeah.
and then
One thing on
then
that, yeah, I was going to tell the traders. I remember you said you had your TP set at 54 on so that black
right,
candle with the red stripes where you exited. Yeah. Well,
exactly.
yeah. Well, what I saw, why I thought I saw a short happening was because I was looking, if you look at the one, two, third candle, or actually, if you look at the first candle from after the news candle, and then a line, you could pretty much draw a line down across those tops. So that was telling me price was going to go down. And then to me, I'm looking at the bottom and it just kind of looked like a flat bottom to me. That right here, this was kind of flat. But I see what you're saying about it was making higher highs like every third candle was making, I mean, a higher low every third candle. So really, the pattern was almost what I guess they would call it a wedge or a triangle, and it had to break one side or the other. And if you drew that wedge the way, it definitely broke it to the top side. But I was looking for a short, and sure enough, about an hour or so later, no, uh, 15 minutes or so later, we finally did wind up going short. And if you look at the chart right now, let's see, where is it? It's way short. It's down at 32.
Yeah. And that's the thing, you can look at a chart and I can look at a chart and see different things at the same time. If we play the market correctly, we both can make money, which is great. You can go short and I can go long. We both can make money. What's interesting is, unfortunately, you don't have that. But if you take that line that was trending up and you extend that into the future, and you look at the current candles, what you also notice is that we finally had a close. About one, two, three, four, five, six, 7 candles after the new hour. Okay, we had a close above it. Then we had the next candle had a close below it. And this is a very typical, what they call a compression um, triangle, because then when you get that close below it, and it goes also below that original horizontal line that I drew across the tops, you go short there, and man, at that point in time, you take that short, and you can go and could have picked up 5, 10, 15, almost 20 pips off of that trade. And it's funny because it's the same trade that you were talking about. It's just that it's just a different way. And I say this all the time. There there are 100 different ways to skin a cat. When you're trading, and essentially we're trading the same line. The difference is I would be looking at it from one perspective, and you'd be looking at it from a different perspective. And where even though we may go and look at it from two different sides, we both see the same thing. This thing is going to go and dump, and dump it dead.
Well, yeah, and the other thing about the dump was right here we had previous day's high at 48. The previous day's close here was at 42. No, that was close from 2 days ago. Where's the previous day's close? Day day. I this. Let's see. Let me find a different one. I think yeah. Here we go. We had yesterday's top was at 42. Yesterday's high was at 48.7. So once again, price doesn't like staying in the wick zone. And so right here, there was a play at either coming across the previous day's high or coming out of that wick zone to the south side. So you could have been short at 48 and or short at 42 and a half, and could have picked up some nice pips. Plus you even had a red stripe there on a turn trade or flip-flop box right around
And
the
that's
50.
the thing that blows me away about trading. Kira, that you just mentioned two, three different ways, reasons to go short there. I
Right.
mentioned the reason to go short there. They're all different methods. There's a symmetry that well, not symmetry. That's the wrong word. There's syncing that happens. Is that all these different methods for whatever reason, and I don't know why. I really don't care to know. Well, actually, I'm curious as to why, but it doesn't. I'm not going to go and you know uh, go crazy trying to figure out why. But they all seem to go and point to the same thing. And once you start recognizing that, you can go and make some money off of it, because they all point to the exact same thing. You know, you just named, like I said, two or three different reasons why. I named the reason why, and lo and behold, it goes and does it. Does it happen every time? No, it doesn't. But the thing is, it happens statistically enough that you can go and take advantage of it. It's basically the market is what I like to go and liken it to is the market likes to go and whether it likes to doesn't, I don't know, but it goes and shows tells. It's like when you're playing poker and you're playing against the guy and the guy's trying to bluff you, but at the same time he shows a tell and he doesn't got it. I can see that. Or he does got it. I better not go bet against him. Well, the market does the same thing for us. That's the whole thing about this using these different methods is just to be able to go and read the tell the market's giving us.
Hey, you just gave me an idea for a new poker tournament, blind poker. Um, each player is like has um, like a box around them or something, so they can't see the other people. They got to play the cards. They can't. They instead of playing the person. That would
Yeah,
be interesting.
it would be interesting. You know, it would either be really interesting or really boring because it'd be like two computers playing against each other. Very predictable.
Well, I mean, the only thing I guess you would be is you would know you'd see how the other players betting, and that would be your I guess that could
Your
be the
attitude.
tell, you know.
Yeah, exactly. It's the type of thing. If I do I all of a sudden do something that we all would have different. How can I say this? We all would have different characteristics as to how we go and play and bet, you know, and all of a sudden we do something that seems out of character. Okay, is he bluffing me with that out of character move, or is he really got something here? So I guess you still can have tells. It's just that you can't be the facial movements and whatever. That sometimes you can pick it up. Oh, that guy's good. He's every time he goes and has a problem, he goes and he always goes and wipes the bottom of his chin.
Yeah. Okay, Walmal, look at price here for about the last 10 minutes or so. We've been in a range, a really tight range, I guess between about what, 30 and 35? Yeah.
Right.
So what do you see
Yeah.
since we're talking
I see
about charting?
compression. Yeah. We're either we're either getting accumulation or we're getting distribution. You know, and it's just it's compressed. And I
Well,
think what has happened is that we had that big jump, that big drop off of that 20 bit drop, and it's probably sitting there trying to figure out what it's going to do. The
yeah.
guys who are on the losing side are trying to figure out, okay, how can I make this up? And the guys who are on the winning side, they're trying to take their money out without the price running all the way back up to 50. Then they don't get as much profit.
Yeah. Well, I see three blue stripes there at the bottom. So if you would have taken each one of those trades, you could have made, and if you didn't like take the quick profit, you could have stuck it for about, well, now a little bit more, 3, 4, 5 pips maybe. And we just had a flip
Right.
flop box. Um, Actually, this was a flip flop flip, is what I have here because it flipped, it flopped, and it flipped again. And there was a nice, so that was calling long at 35, would have been good for 2 pips or more.
Where's your H4 pivot again? I know it's below us, but
Oh, I don't have that on this.
okay.
Yeah, it was there. There was a. Oh, wait a minute. I can bring it up. Hold on a second. The missed H4 pivot was at 28.83, three H4 candles ago. Yeah. So, fellow traders, that's just about it. So, if you have any questions about charting and what we did or how we see it, let us know because it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So, go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.